everyone, we're here today to talk about a brand new course that's been offered by the British National Union. It's called LM1. You'll find out what that is in a moment. And I'm joined by Minister Judith Seaman, who's been one of the people behind creating this exciting new course. So welcome, Judith.
Thanks, Alf. Great to join in because we're all excited about the launch of LM1.
Absolutely, and it is actually a really exciting area for people, and we've already got new courses for healing mediumship and for our speakers and demonstrators. But Judith, could you tell us about this, because it takes us into a brand new area with these new courses?
Indeed, I can. LM1 stands for Leadership and Management. And so obviously it's focused on churches. And LM1 is a course for anyone who is a member of a church or who is thinking about becoming a member of a church, because it shares all the exciting things that you can become involved in within a church community, and also how the church is part of the community, the area where it's placed, the people around it, how the SNU church is an essential part of any community. So this is when we're talking about leadership and management, it's not just about the committee doing this, but it's how everybody can be a leader. Everybody has abilities that they can utilize, that they can get involved in, and how we can manage those abilities to become a unit. So the course is focused on how the church can go, and I say the church, I mean the members, because the building, the bricks and mortar, is just that, it's a building. What brings it alive, what makes it a church, are the people who come within its doors, who are involved in it. Its members, and also those who just come along because they want to be part of that church community. So it's what does that church, meaning all of those people, how does it function? What can it do? Both inside the building and out into the community. So there needs to be this bridge connecting the two things. So looking first of all, what part the church can play in the community by getting involved in other groups within the community, interfaith groups perhaps, but not just that, perhaps the local hospice, hospital, anything, food banks. Knowing my own local church, they collect for the food bank, they collect towels for the Methodist chapel, who collect things for homeless people. So anything that would be good for homeless people. So this is the connection between the inside of the church and taking that church out into the community. And there's so many ways in this course listed about how that church can get out there. But in going out there, you then bring people back into the church, where you go and meet with other people. Then they, oh, where is your church? We'd like to come and visit. So you begin to build a bridge both ways, out and back inside again. And then when we're inside, we're looking at what the church can offer to the people of the community. Obvious thing is healing, the healing sessions that are available to people. And of course, the typical thing that most people come to an SNU church for, to hopefully receive that communication from someone that's passed to the spirit world. So, but then it's more than that. That's our two key features. Then we've got the community within the church. And again, using my own local church, they have a Tuesday afternoon session where mums can come when the kids are at school and have some time together. They can have healing. They do have some mediumship going on. So putting in sessions that supply the demand for what people need, and putting all these different ideas. Plus, we've taken advice from the promotions committee of the SNU, how to promote the church, all the different ideas, how one can promote the church in the community, how to use the social media type things. All that's gone into this course to offer that help and advice to the committee of the church and the people who are involved. One of the things that the course is encouraging is that, yes, the committee is responsible for the running of the church, but it's the members that are the church. And the more the committee can involve the members, then the more hands there is on deck, so to speak. So this is why we called it leadership, to get people involved, give them the ideas to work with, and then managing that to make it work what's best for the church and best for the church in its community where it lives. So the first section of LM1 is called the church in the community. Obviously, there has to be a connection to church rules, and where that's relevant, then we've quoted the church rule. If it's necessary for somebody to need to check it at any time, then this course tells you exactly what rule to look at to know exactly what you can and can't do. So the course is not filled with church rules. There's just cross references there if necessary, or someone who wants to look up in more detail what they would need to know in order to be sure that they're working within the constitution of the church. So it's got lots of exciting sections in it about things that you can put on in the church, how you can get people involved in helping to make the church successful, but also how the church becomes a special place in the community, takes its place in the community, becomes known, and once it's known, it becomes full. That's how to get the church filled with people.
And I love the 360 degrees approach to this. It feels very holistic and inclusive. And I just love the way that it reminds us all that we have a part to play in our churches. It's not just the committee, yes, it's everybody. That's and I think this course is an opportunity for everybody to explore what they have to offer to their church and to spiritualism. It's a way of deepening our understanding of what service is, just to not just to the church, but to the wider community as well. Could you tell us, Judith?
Absolutely.
Could you tell us something about how people can get involved with this? Because I understand that you've come up with some different routes for people to be able to easily access this course.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, any church member can apply and get a free copy of the course. It would be a PDF version, not a paper version, so a digital version, and they can get that free of charge. So even if that's all they want to do is read the content, make use of the content, that's absolutely fine. And that will be available from the 1st of May. That's when we're going to launch LM1. It's all ready to go. If somebody wants to actually do the course and have a tutor, then it's a cost of a special offer that will run now until the end of September, £5 to do the course and to have the tutor. And then if they really want to go for what is the practical aspect of it, doing the more in-depth understanding of it, we called it the Church Administration Scheme, CAS, because that's what it's about, administering a church. So at this level, it's at church level. And they can do that, so they can have the course notes free of charge with a tutor for £5. And for £10, they can actually do the whole package and get their accreditation as being an accredited person who knows how to be involved in the running of a church. So like we've got HAS, Healing Accreditation Scheme, for those who want to do healing, and PAS for the platform workers. This is now for those who maybe don't want to be a speaker or a demonstrator, but they want to be a spiritualist and they want to be part of the community. And these are ideas that they can use to get involved by joining this scheme that we've set up. So we've got this special offer deal that will run from the 1st of May right through to the end of September for any church member. But I would also say anybody who is thinking about becoming a member, it's a great way to find out what becoming a member is all about. So even those who aren't already members could still get a copy of the course and become a more essential part of their church.
And I think for many of us in living memory, the times that we've currently lived through are unprecedented. And if
Yes,
ever there was a time for us all to pull together and to really contribute to the future of our churches and the future of spiritualism,
yes,
it's now. And LM1 is
yes,
just the ideal vehicle to do that. It's accessible to everybody and you can engage with it on whatever level you want. So I love that if you just want to read it to begin with, that it's there for you. And that will give you an amazing insight into the many exciting and challenging aspects there is to running a church. But also you can take it
definitely.
further. You can take it further. And I think for the first time in our movement, we've seen this bringing together of all the different strands that we need in a church, from the healing mediums, the platform mediums, and now the people who are the members and the administrators of the church as well. It puts us all together and shows that we say often, don't we, success depends on all of us.
All
And
of
I think
us.
that's
Yeah,
so important.
absolutely.
What do you think
I
is the
think it's not,
difference? Go on,
I think
Judy.
it's more than coincidence that this has come to the launch date just as we're beginning to think about reopening our churches. You know, at this time when they've been closed for so long, and it must feel quite scary for people now going back in, trying to reopen their churches, that this course has coincided with that particular part of this pandemic that we've come through. I don't think that's coincidence. I think it's really meant to be.
It really does seem that it's different pieces coming together
Yeah.
to strengthen things. And I've been lucky enough to be able to read the course, and it is really exciting. And I think for many people, they won't have considered the different areas that have been brought together in the course. Perhaps if you're just used to going to church and enjoying the service or taking part in some of the church events, perhaps you've not needed to think about what goes on behind the scenes and what efforts go in. But it's really interesting to find out. And if you're new to spiritualism, or even if you've been involved in spiritualism for quite a long time, I think it's a bit of an eye-opener really when you see some of the things, and you might find something in there that really you want to be involved in. And for many people, I
Yeah,
think it
that's
will help them to be feel really part of their church.
it.
Is
And
go on,
back to
Judy.
that motto, success depends on all of us, that we used as a motto for the SNU all those years ago. When I was president of the SNU, we came up with this idea that whatever we do, success depends on all of us, and it does. And I think that's so essential in a church, to see a thriving church, really thriving. You step inside and you can feel it. You can feel the energy. You almost don't need, you think to yourself, do I really need a communication from the spirit world tonight? This is me talking now. And I think, no, I don't. When I step into what I call my church, in the sense that it's a church I've been a member of for, oh, I don't know how many years, well over 30 years. It's that feeling of stepping in, of belonging, of the excitement of everything that I've shared in that church over those past 30 years. Obviously, I don't get there as much as I used to do when I was first involved there, but all those memories of those years as well, of how the things we've done and shared, have been a big part of my life. And although I've got involved in the SNU at district council and then national level, that church has always been my bedrock. That's where, when I go to serve my church as a speaker demonstrator, it's like going home, and I'm excited because those wonderful memories that were made there. We used to have them open. We used to open the church on Saturday evenings for people who couldn't always get there, and we would have cars that would go out and pick them up, bring them to church, and when we'd had a session, a little service, then we would put on a pie and peas supper or something afterwards, so that it got the elderly and the ones who weren't able, perhaps didn't have a car or what have you, to be able to come. And to me, that's the memories I have of my church. And they're happy memories. They're really the thing that I've built my spiritualism on.
And now we're at such a critical time when we're going to be building things back and reinvigorating everything. I think this just comes at a perfect time. And I think if you're watching this and you're a member of a church and perhaps you want to know more, then this is for you. If you thought you know what was going on, then I think this is for you as well, because it might open up some new avenues that you've not considered. And even if you're very experienced, then perhaps then doing this will really help to build on your experience and just supercharge it that little bit more and give us all that boost that we need. So I think everybody's a winner with LM1. It's so exciting. Can you tell us how we can get hold of these course notes, Judith?
Yes, you need to make contact with SNU head office for getting a copy of the course and enrolling if you want to do it with a tutor, and also enrolling if you want to do the training as well. That's the CAS, Church Administration Scheme. So that's looking at the practical application of what's in the course. So the theory is in the course, giving you the ideas, but if you want to do a bit more, get involved a bit more in how to do that and get your accreditation as a church member, as a church doer, as a church worker, you know, being really, and obviously, particularly if you are already on a church committee or would like to be a member of a church committee, I'm sure the church would be delighted to have people who are volunteers who would like to get involved in making their church a success, a place that people want to come to, and also the church known in the community as being a special place to want to go to.
So a fantastic opportunity. We'll put all the details on the screen and they'll be in the description below wherever you're watching this video. And there you go. That's your opportunity. It's a fantastic opportunity to increase your own skills and knowledge and support spiritualism in your church at the same time. It's so exciting. I really hope that if you're watching, the next thing you do is make contact and get hold of those notes, and off you go. Brilliant. Thank you, Judith, and for explaining all that.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope everybody does want to get on board, because this is the way that we can build the SNU, and in particular, rebuild our churches that have struggled during this pandemic. Now, the church is not the bricks and mortar, it's the people. That's what makes a church, the members. We could sit in the middle of a field and be a church. It's our connection to the spirit world, to the God force. That's what makes the church. And that's what within LM1, that's very much part of the course. It's not all about rules and regulations. It's about being a special community and making a difference in your community.
Fantastic. Thank you.